Hey, 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 welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have everybody here on this wonderful Tuesday. It's going to snow here in Hotlanta, Georgia, and everybody's freaking out, and I am laughing my butt off because I'm like, suck, it's just snow. But glad to have you guys here. If you're new to the lunch stream, wondering what this is, well, we just me and the crew, guests, we hang out with you for the next hour, bring you something fun to listen to, we'll do some roster reviews, we'll answer your questions. Speaking of which, I need to get my laptop fired up because someone, and I'm not going to mention names, but his name starts with an F, ends in an N, and the middle is N, is hosing me once again. I don't like it. So I will be scooping up questions and I'm on triple duty again today because Dr. Finn has to have a life using lasers.
No, not a life. I need a job. I want to keep my jobs.
Dr. Finn is evil.
Well, yeah, it's a job being evil. I need to keep it.
Really? You're a doctor? Did you go to evil medical school, Finn? No? No answer? Okay. Also joining us is, of course, our compatriot, Grim the Mechanic.
How's it going, guys?
And last but not least, we have the one, the only, Mr. Mike Hunt. But I think he's getting his prescription filled at the moment, so he may pop in.
Sorted. I'm back.
Nicely done.
Hello. Yay.
Yay.
Timing.
Medications received.
It's toit like a toiga.
His Faja. His what? Oh, father.
Father.
Way to go, numbnuts. You look like a jack in the box. I love those movies. Every time they're on, I pop them on. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So good. All right.
Interest you in smoking a pancake?
Oh, what?
What's up? It's your boy, Grande Pappy
Oh,
Patron.
God.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I find Grande Patron insolent. He needs to be liquidated. He's not evil enough, Dr. Finn. He's the Diet Coke of evilness. Just 1 calorie, not evil enough. Hello, Grande.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Any news, anything exciting you want to report on the chicken chasing front?
Not really. I'm sure I'll think of something here pretty exciting here pretty soon. but right now, life is good and pretty normal.
Okay.
I have an exciting chicken piece of news.
What?
9 pieces for $5.99 today from KFC. Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're in
Chicken Tuesday.
if you're in England and
$9.99. Are you out of your mind?
it's freaking looking good. All right. So if you guys could stop what you're doing, give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We got a lot of cool stuff happening. Check out our Patreon. Love our Patreon supporters. That's what keeps us going. If you guys that support us through the Patreon, know that all our proceeds go back into the stream to bring you guys more quality content, war games, all that stuff. So if you guys would love to become a Patreon sponsor, please do. We have the ACS stuff, which we'll cover at the end. We are raising money for the American Cancer Society, so if you would please check that out. We about a third of our way to our goal of 15,000, so we will be having a big stream on the 16th of February, coming up here pretty soon, where we're going to try to raise the rest of the money. Definitely going to need your guys' support when that happens. What else? I think that's it for now. I think that's all I need to cover. But yes, so we got territory wars going on right now. We got Revan really getting ready to come up. I've got pretty much all the gear I need for Revan. I had a few little pieces here and there. I think I need like 37 more Carbantes. Where are my Carbantes at? Let's see. I'm going to check this real quick. I need... Oh, we just got some more... Oh, it's flipped over. Oh, crap. Okay. Let's see. Carbante. Yes, thank you. I'll take that. So I need 31 more Carbantes. I think I've got the droid... Yeah, the droid collars and stun guns are pretty much locked in. I just need some more of those NK7 Mirror CERN, whatever they are. I think I need like 20 more of those or something, and I'll be good to go. I'm just checking my gear real quick. Nothing I need. Hey, I'll take those 420. Yeah, thank you. Now the droid collar's done. I have 150 droid collars. Good. Okay. So I'm definitely going to be ready for the gear for Revan when he comes back. I've spent a little bit of my crystals to make sure of that. So when I do unlock him, we can just take him to Gear 12 Plus and be good to go. And then I'll start hoarding crystals again. I still have 8,000 crystals. So, you know, my hoarding has paid off. All right. So, hope everybody's getting ready for their Revan. So, we will. If you have questions, go ahead and pop them in. I will try to get to them as soon as I can when we get to questions. But we got some Rastas reviews to do today. And let's see here. No, that's Jedi Revan's list. I was looking at what I needed and checking it off. So, the first one we're doing today is Fitzy. And Fitzy's in Sigma Alliance Mandalorians. What a name. Shout out to Sigma Alliance Mandalorians. And let's see what old Fitzy wants today. Well, if I can get rid of all these.
You know what would make it easier on you, Ranger?
Huh.
You can ask Fitzy. Hi, Fitzy.
What?
Can you talk, Fitzy? He's trying to connect.
Fitzy, you're the new next contestant on your roster review. Come on down.
Oh, God, did you see that video, The Price is Right? Like, they were calling a woman, and she was in the bathroom. So they were waiting, like, 5 minutes for her to come out of the bathroom, and she came, like, running out and people getting high fives. And the first question was like, "Did you wash your hands before you high fived him?"
Oh, no.
Oh no! Oh, that was like a delayed.
Oh, like, I would have lied my ass off. Of course, I'm very...
I mean, so I don't know if they have like the little like speakers and stuff in the bathroom, so you heard that it was you that was being called.
Well, I know, but you imagine if you're dropping a deuce and you hear...
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't know what I would do in that situation.
I know. You're sitting there like, Finity, come on down. Oh, God, why?
Hold on. That's going to leave a mark.
Please, God, please just push it through.
I'm just dropping the kids off at the pool.
Come on, there's somebody here. Oh, God.
All right, Fitzy, are you with us now? I don't know if he can hear us. Oh, wait, he's rejoining. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Okay, an update on the status of the Fitzys.
There we go.
There we go.
There's Fitzies. All right.
Hi there. Thank you for doing this, guys.
No, it's what we do.
Hi, Fitzy.
No, this isn't a Dark Lords Guild, is it?
No, but
thank God.
I talked with Fitzy. This is Sigma. Come on, man.
I don't trust this. I don't know. There's so many.
I love Sigma.
I know.
Man.
I don't
so
know
awesome.
Who's in the Dark Lords Alliance anymore. It's ridiculous.
Sigma's its whole other thing.
I don't know that. I just can't trust it.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to speak up for Sigma because I really like the people over at Sigma. They do a ton of voice chats. They're super awesome people. They're really great for helping. They help their members. They have voice chats with some of the people that make videos and some really great people that are very knowledgeable about the game. Their officer corps does a lot of good hard work. So Sigma is a great group.
Would you say it's
better? Let's just shout out to Grande, who pops in regularly.
That's right.
A lot of pointers and tips, so that's really appreciated.
But Fitzy, is it to the point that you just want to get rid of him for a little bit because he's like that kid that will not leave mommy and daddy alone?
Yeah, I don't know if we can block him or how that works.
Well, you trick him. You say, "We've got a new server, Grande. Here, check it out," and then you just run.
All right, we'll set that up next time.
Use candy.
Chicken. Use a chicken.
Chicken candy.
Grande will chase that chicken way away from your display.
I know, right? All right, so I'm looking at what you wrote to us initially, Fitzy, and it says, you said mostly territory wars and grand arena squads to work on and proper modding or suggestions. Is that still what you need us to look at?
Yeah, pretty much, guys. I mean, just because it's so new and, I'm already running across some sick squads where they're not going with the norm modding strategy just because of it's either you're strictly from a defensive point of view or an offensive. So it was just, hey, do you guys see anything or any suggestions? That's all.
Well, let's just look at your roster, which is the 4.4 million. I don't think we're going to see many flaws in the teams that you're running. Yeah, look at all those Gear 12s. Yeah. Oh my.
Chirpa, not Gear 12. Shame.
Oh my God.
She has an excellent. She has an excellent roster. I don't know what you. I mean, look at that arena rank. I mean,
One at a time, guys. One at a
come
time.
on.
So really, you have all the components, right? I'm not seeing anything. Just, I mean, you got some of the Gear 12s here. Now for Grand Arena, the 3v3 is still something we're kind of playing with. It's a totally different world, but mostly the Grand Arena will be 5v5, and then we'll have the Territory Wars, which is about to come up. Now I don't know what your guild does for Territory Wars, but I think you guys pretty much do a standard kind of stuff. Bounty hunters on defense or first order on defense. Is that typically what happens? So I don't think we need to cover Territory Wars. More like Grand Arena. So for Grand Arena, let me ask you this: for your Jedi Knight Revan, do you like to use him on defense or offense and keep him in case they put their? Okay, that makes good.
Offense every day, all day.
So the thing that I would say is looking at your roster. And this is what I kind of do. Let me see if you have a certain squad. Let me look here. I'm just curious. Yeah. She's got the scoundrel squad. So you're putting how many? Yes, go ahead.
I think I got the record of defenses with that squad with 3 versus 3.
How many did you have? I didn't have that many because.
Man.
How many?
69. I think they did it on purpose as a virtual.
Yeah, so 3v3 is a little bit different of an animal. Some of the teams that I found that did really well was that I had a lot of defense with. Obviously, the Kira Stall. Now I don't know who you use with Kira. I used Mission and Zalbar and got a lot of defenses from there. First Order with Kylo Ren Unmasked, and Stormtrooper got me some defenses. Bounty Hunters with Boss, Dengar, and Greedos, the ones I use. You could probably do a different combination. Even my Jango Fett team that I use, Jango. Who did I use? Jango. Was it Cad Bane and what else did I use? Embo, something like that. Did really well for me. Some didn't. I tried a Lando Calrissian, Han Solo, something other one. It didn't. No. So typically, so the teams that you use on defense in 5s in Grand Arena and Territory Wars, you can kind of split it down. Some of the like Emphas and even Wampa as singles to take out squads is really good to keep and not leave on defense is, in my opinion, is the way to go. But there are some teams. So for this, you're wanting like strategy for your teams for 5v5 in Grand Arena and Territory Wars.
Well, let's just back it up right there. So you brought up both Wampa and Nest.
Mm-hmm.
So are they modded optimally for them to be that one that you can throw in?
Okay, let's look at it.
I used Nest the one time. I had him obviously high speed. That wasn't right. I wanted him with tenacity. So just things like that.
Yeah, you can. So typically, I don't do this. I go speed, and I think I've got something else on there. There's tenacity, but it's not a primary stat. A couple ways you can go. You could run like a tenacity speed mod on your cross to get the 24% and get her tenacity up, and then have like 2 other mods for tenacity with high speed, because you do want high speed for Nest, and then have the other 4. The three you want the 4 speed set mods, and then you can go 2 tenacity mods, or you can go tenacity something, and then the cross definitely be tenacity. I see a lot of people run something along those lines. So as long as you maintain your speed, yours right now is let's see what's your speed at.
No,
247. Yeah, the speed is.
I had her over 280, and because then I got told no, get the tenacity up because she'd lost in Grand Arena.
Well, it depends on who you use her with against, right?
It also depends on who you go against with her, right?
Certain
I mean,
teams...
True enough.
Yeah. Let's take Wampa for example, right? I mean, you don't want to go up with Wampa against a team if you were going to try to 1v5 or you were going to try to 1v3 with just Wampa. you cannot go up against a team that does stun or a team that does daze.
No.
Like it's just like it. So
Well,
it's
unless
super.
you mod for tenacity. I mean, solely tenacity.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you're talking about
Even
at this
then.
point you'd have to have like a gold tenacity cross sitting on Wampa, or like tenacity sets in order to make that happen. So while I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm just saying no one's gonna mod Wampa like that, right? Most people.
You want them offense.
What they
And
would do
health.
is they're gonna go offense crit chance like what you've got
Let-
here.
Lots of health.
Grande, let her finish her let her finish her statement.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I do like the idea of going high tenacity because then that does open that door of
But-
try and shut me down.
but here,
Yeah,
But-
but that's the thing about Wampa is he's awesome unless you go up a team that can daze or stun.
Yes.
At which point you want lots of tenacity. That way there's a less chance of them actually being able to land it on you.
but see, here's the thing I don't like about using tenacity as a primary focus. Tenacity sucks. It just does. It still gets hits.
RNG can still get in the way of tenacity, right?
Yeah, it does.
I mean,
you can-
we have characters with ton of tenacity. I mean, how many times have you seen your Jolie get stunned or ability blocked, and you're sitting there with tons of tenacity on Jolie, and all of a sudden you're like, really, Jolie? The one time,
Or you can laugh real hard and put him with Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Because then he can't be stunned or dazed.
Yeah, you gotta have that second Zeta though.
I know, but that's still funny.
but I think you need to stick with keeping the primary focus. Like for my Ness and Wampa, heavy offense, and then I just pick the teams that I know they're gonna go in there and just wreck. Because people leave weak teams on there. I'm like, that's a free clear for me. Oh, you put a full Ewok team. I've done it. Ness, and I don't have a lot of tenacity. She just went there and wiped them out. Or a Phoenix squad. Oh, go kill Ness. Go destroy. Yes, in 3v3 it's even easier. So Wampa can be used if the team just doesn't daze or stun, and then you can just, if it doesn't have any of that in there, and you want an easy win, just throw them in there and off you go. Same thing with Ness.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a sissy. I just don't do 1v3.
I do it all the time. Extra
I know.
points for me. Extra
I'm just-
points for me.
The biggest reason I'm going to tell you the biggest reason why I don't do 1v3 is because sometimes I go up against opponents that are really good, right? That my opponent is really good, and so rather than go 1v3, I'd rather go like Rex Wampa.
Sure.
Or Rex Wampa, Visas Mar or something, right? I'd rather.
That's the one typically I use, and I did write down your Sunpack suggestion, Grande.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I like it. Visas Mar is super great if we're going up against like a Sith team, right? Visas Mar makes perfect sense in that team. But if we're gonna take Rex Wampa, let's say we're gonna take Rex Wampa versus Crew, right? Rex Wampa versus Crew could work out super well, and so we're getting the dispels, we're getting the dazes, we're getting tenacity up. That would be one where I would use Sunfac over Visas Mar, and I'd save Visas Mar for another team, on 3v3. Or if it is 3v3, I might still bring Visas Mar in on that team as the healer, and then bring a second damage dealer, or potentially bring a second taunt on that team in 5v5.
Right.
It all depends on kind of what it is you want to do, right? But I think what it is. So there's two parts to being really good, I think, in either a 5v5 matchup or a 3v3 matchup. The first part I think that's really good is really looking at the kits, right? Because I think a lot of people don't know how some of these.
Yeah, and they're not looking at their opponents and looking at what
they don't look
have.
at their opponents. They don't look at the kits. They don't look at the mods that the other player has.
Oh, yeah.
They don't play the game in their mind first to see kind of how it will go. And then the second one is making sure your characters are modded in a way that you understand and that you like. And that can either be conventional or unconventional modding. It kind of just depends on what mods you have.
Or what you're trying to accomplish. Some of the teams, like I always run Sith as a 4-man team in 5v5 for the extra points. The Triumvirate with Sith Trooper, that's pretty much.
See, and I always, But here's the well, of course it is, but it's for me it's overpowered, right? I'd rather say, okay, I'm going to use isolate, and I'm going to use hell by hatred, and and just isolate and hell by hatred can win.
Yeah.
With 3 other Sith, and then that leaves me Nihilus to do somewhere else.
You could do that,
or I could put again, right? I mean, it's like do I want to win that's so awesome that I'm like, oh, that was overpowered. I brought too much to the table. I could have left something.
Yeah, I'll go with, but it's against a team that's pretty solid, like that's on defense. And I'm like, okay, but I still want to get the points, so it's a free. It's pretty much I'm going to win because my team's geared and maxed to the teeth with those 4, and a combination of what they do. So there's little things like that, tricks that I found for all the 3v3s and 5s have either. Except for one where I got 4th because
it's risk reward.
I
right?
got distracted and I forgot to finish my match, and it cost me a chance to go to the finals. And I was so pissed. The wife walks in like, "Hey, we have this at the grocery store," and you turn away. You're like, "No, we kind of need something." And then you start talking. And then you look back. You're like, 10 seconds, no.
So here's the the thing with a roster, like Fitzy's roster is, she can almost run droid meta, right? And if you look at stuff like her resistance is so good she can almost run BB-8 on a droid team.
You could, yeah.
I mean, we're getting into some of these like super kind of like esoteric teams, right? That most people don't run. Most people don't. Most people are not going to run some kind of JTR. R2 Scav Ray team for 3v3 and then leave BB-8 to go in on a droid team. I mean, some of the hardest teams I've fought, I mean, we want to, one thing right now that everybody, is kind of talking about is everybody's like, oh, Zeta Finn with 35% turn meter on expose hit is OP. Well, you want to talk about turn meter, go look at HK47's lead. HK47's lead is 50% turn meter on a crit, right? Which means that if
with IG88 or something like that.
Yeah, and BB-8, so you match them up with BB-8, or you match them up with someone that does turn meter removal like T3M4. I think T3M4 is one of these characters. Here's the thing though. You go into a match and you've got BB-8, T3M4 under HK lead. They are going to think that team is garbage, right? Because just looking at it, they don't fight it very often. They remember HK lead being garbage, right? They always see BB-8 with Ray, so they have no idea what BB-8 does with droids. And they go in and you know what they decide? They decide they want to go in there and they go in there and they're I'm gonna 1v3 this, or I'm gonna 1v5 this, right? Or I'm gonna go in there with some kind of slowish rebels, right? And all of a sudden you basically clean their clock, and now you've held once and they lost their 20 points, right? Yeah. So now they're down to looking at it the second time. It's some of these like strange, weird teams, and depending on how
I told you about that team I faced, Grande, the Bastila Nihilus Scion team that I faced. I mean, that team was freaking ridiculous. I had to really think about that one before I took it on because, and I almost lost because of the way it works. Luckily I went in there with my Sith to face it because I'm like, oh, I'm not even dicking around with this, and I could see why the person was doing it because Bastila kept feeding stuff to Nihilus. It was ridiculous, and
there are some awesome teams for 3v3. I know everybody doesn't love 3v3, but to me it's like playing almost a different game.
It's totally is.
I think it's great. I love it. It's so different and it's new. Why not?
Exactly. And it can be frustrating, right? And that's okay. Sure. It's like we've been it's like we've been trying to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube the whole time, and someone handed us a 2x2 Rubik's Cube and told us to solve it. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's That's not what I'm used to. Okay. So I really like it. I think your roster is really great as far as the characters and the character
You know,
level.
yeah, there's no flaws in your,
I
in
mean,
your
I mean,
roster.
I mean,
I'm looking at your mods right now, and I'm like, well, that works. Okay, that's fine. I mean,
you could already tell some of these characters you're working on. You know, I mean, I could see stuff like C-3PO to gear 11, maybe.
Yeah.
You've got him at gear 10. I think he's probably on your to-do list for taking to gear 11 and maybe higher.
yeah, I did with gear
Well,
12.
because he does the job. Like, that's where I get at it. It's like, you know what? I have other people
does-
I'm
he-
going after.
absolutely.
He does the job. So
Mhm.
he's not on my hit list right now because, of course, I'm gearing up for that February event that's coming up.
You know, with the February event coming out, I'd probably say it's save 2 Zetas, right?
Oh, definitely.
You know, I'm thinking it's say, you know, I mean, if you had Zetas to spend after you saved those 2, there are a lot of great Zetas, right? That could kind of round off the teams
Not
here.
for me, damn it. I got my 60 for
Yeah.
for Revan and
right?
all his
For-
gear done. So I'll start hoarding again after I get Revan. But
Yeah.
but I still have like about to have, I don't know, I have, how many potatoes do I have? I forgot. You know, you keep farming, you kind of get in the position where you're like, I'm just farming. I have
I could
108.
tell you're farming Bastila on Fallen to 7-star. You know, that's one that you're working on. Makes perfect sense. You know, look, you know, you've already got a 5-star Cartho Nasi, so you're kind of buying him from shipments, probably, it looks like.
No,
Yeah,
you-
I was buying
little bit.
from Arena Rewards. I figured
Okay.
I'd just buy a pack here and there.
Yeah.
Close enough, and then when they make them farmable, he should be pretty much free to play.
And then you're doing the other thing with Juhani. I could see you're doing that with Juhani. Almost done with Canderous Ordo. Same kind of deal. And then of course we got a bunch of characters here that nobody uses at all, and you've got them low leveled, which makes perfect
yeah,
sense,
no
right?
fluff GP.
Yeah.
No super fluff GP and none of this. I think it looks great.
I think
right?
the mods, and I'm just looking at your mods. I don't think they're not on any characters where I go,
Let's go look.
no.
Well, apparently I have to fix Nest again, where I probably put it back to what you had.
I would, and
Yeah, I
if you
will.
go back and watch all the Grand Arenas I did, with my Nest being like 290 speed and just mainly speed and offense and stuff with a little bit of tenacity, it seems I've not had any problems with a runner like that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
No, you know, that's what I would definitely do with her. I mean, is there other characters that you're kind of thinking about, maybe needs some looking into for this?
Like I said, we already kind of touched on the 2, just because they really are those standalones. Like, I
Yeah.
consider Thrawn a standalone, as in they can go anywhere, anytime, like a plug-and-play.
Yeah, Thrawn is
and
that.
he's-
Yeah, Thrawn.
you know.
The team in 3v3 that I use Thrawn with, and I've made it a team, is Thrawn with Death Trooper and Shore Trooper, Magma Trooper, and
Yes.
you know, because he's going to go first because I think mine's like 292 speed or something like that. So he goes in. I'm like, who am I going to fracture? Oh, you. Okay, I win.
The majority of the mods I'm looking at, you know, it looked like we sliced a bunch to A, and then we just were selective about what we sliced to 6E. So I kind of like that. I'd like to see kind of where we placed our flat offense. Again, flat offense on great characters, right? We've got flat offense on, you know, on Asajj Ventress, flat offense on, you know, Death Trooper. More flat offense on Death Trooper.
Yep.
Great flat offense on Scion. Love seeing that. Flat offense on Greedo makes sense, right?
Oh, I love, you know.
Oh, Greedo's
you know-
ridiculous. If he procs, if he doesn't proc, then you're like, I hate you, Greedo, so much. I hope you die.
You know, flat offense on on Scav Ray. I mean, flat offense on Range Trooper. Flat offense on you know, Fox. I'm seeing flat offense on Wampa. Flat offense on Resistance Trooper. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of flat offense on Yoda again. I mean, super great use of the offense there. So I'm not, you know, those are the 2 areas I mostly see where people have real difficulty, where they kind of put their mods in weird spots where they have trouble. But those look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the boom factor. I really do.
Yeah, this is an incredible roster. I don't think there's no weaknesses. It's all strength. You've got to really, I mean,
We talked about those 2. Were there any other areas where you felt like that maybe we
territory
needed to look
wars,
at?
something you think maybe for offense or defense or anything like that?
No, No, yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, I enjoy that aspect of the game, and just wherever the guild needs me to go hit or kill, I do my part. So I'm not really too concerned there. Next Zeta suggestions, other than saving the two, who would be your number one pick? That's
Well, let's
not
look and
Zeta
see
two?
what Zetas you actually don't have.
Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. Let's see here. Wait a minute. No. Yes. No. Mission. No, you do have mission. Damn it.
I'd probably look at first order Zetas myself.
You'd look at crew.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. Yes. There's no first order Zetas.
Yeah, there's no first order.
Yes.
But she's got a single on crew, but if we did a second on crew and one on first order stormtrooper
and regular Kylo Ren, because he is ridiculous in that team because he's given turn meter and stuff to the team.
I really think we need to save
for stormtrooper, and the second one on Kylo is your priority.
But I think that's a March thing. That's a March thing, right?
For sure. I'm thinking of after I save it for whatever this Feb event is.
Right.
What would be my next hit? That was all.
Yeah, first order.
The only other option I would see is to potentially go for some Rebel Zetas because you're using them in ships.
Cassian,
so potentially or potentially go all in on the Phoenix.
Cassian Zeta is actually pretty solid.
I don't disagree.
And his ship is one of the, in my opinion, one of the best ships in the game. The Jin Cassian combination is what basically, with Chirrut Bays, it's basically those four. I don't care about K2SO. He's scrub. I don't care. But
the only reason why I'm saying that is when I look at her fleet arena, she's running Ghost in the front lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the reason why I was like, maybe we might consider going for Phoenix.
You could go Phoenix. I'm just throwing them out there. Definitely, though, I think the first order, Kylo Ren getting his silencer, they all three of those characters in the first order have ships. And they, so you get double bang for that Zeta.
Right.
It helps your ships out and it helps the team out. And first order, what makes them a pain in the ass, well, you have to use a good team against them. You give that team a chance to go first and they get turn meter and you leave them there, you really hosed your guild with that. So you have to use definitely solid counters.
I did the second Zeta on Chewbacca just for his ship, by the way.
Oh yeah. I mean
I know that seems weird, but I did it.
Oh, not to me. I did those Zetas a long time. As soon as he came out, I was like Zeta.
All right.
Anything else, Fitzy, that we can look out for you?
Oh, you guys have been great. Really appreciate this.
No, this is what we do, and and if you have any more questions, like we tell all of our guests, then all you need to do is just hit us up in Discord, and you can send me a message, or Grande or Finn, and if you have questions about your mods, go to those two. But characters, you can come to me.
Grande just shows up regularly. He's like our go-to.
He's like a bad penny. He just turns up whenever he wants.
That's me, Mr. Bad Penny.
Yeah. He gives you copyrightitis.
Really, honestly, appreciate your time on this. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, and if you do have questions, just fire away at us all the time. Are you in the Angel server?
Yes,
I am. So.
Oh, well,
Grande made sure I joined.
Yes.
Of course he did. Come on, I'm kind of a big deal. I gotta make.
Oh, for God's sakes! God. But no, we appreciate Fitzy. Are you able to hang out with us a little bit? Maybe answer some questions or anything? Participate a little bit? Or do you have work or something you're going to?
I was just going to drop off here for a minute, but I can pop back on. It's up to you.
No, you can stay as long as you like. We're about to do another roster review. And anyone that has nearly a 4.5 million GP roster, your opinion is warranted. So let's move on to the next one. You can chime in if you see anything or anything for the next one. And the next person we're doing is Knights of Ren. Wait a minute here. Knights of Ren, and they're in Dark Lord's Resistance. I knew this was coming. Oh, another Dark Lords.
Yeah, you knew it. You knew it was coming.
All right. They're at 1.6 million GP. They are running. They're currently 139 average. Well, their average rank in their fleet is 163. definitely hurting in Arena. So let's see what they're looking for. Let's see. On the review, could you please advise me on my next couple of Zetas? Check to see if my mods are in a good place on my main tunes. P.S. I'll have Treya and 8 more Heroic Sith raids, and I have 2 Zetas ready to put on Treya when I get her. Could you also help on Grand Arena teams that are good for defense? Yeah, we could do.
Well, if he's about to unlock Treya, finish up your Sith, dude. Your Scion is only gear 9, 5-star, and your Nihilus is gear 8, 5-star.
8 raids. That's how many? That's what 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Even if you do 2 a week, that's still a month away and stuff. So you got time. But let's just start going through his characters in general. First of all, his arena team. Yeah. So I'm just looking at pillars. This is the first thing we always want to look at.
Yep.
JTR's done, R2's done, Grand Admiral Thrawn's done, BB-8, CLS, Emperor Palpatine, Grandmaster Yoda. So he's got some of the main pillars done. Let's look at, which is a good job, my friend. You're on the right track. First thing I'm checking is, and I see you had a 5-star Chewbacca, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, 5-star Chewbacca.
Didn't see 3PO, but we'll check that in a second. I do want to go to Old Republic and see where you're at with that.
Yeah, no 3PO.
Okay. So he's working on... Oh, he's not going to get Revan. Unless he invests some money, which I don't recommend. Basilisk John Jolie's 5-star, T3 6, Salvar's 5, Missions 3-star. I mean, there are the crystal packs and stuff, but it's going to be a rough ride.
I think we're next go around on it.
Yeah, it looks like it, and you need to get the Old Republic characters up. One, because they're pretty damn good. Bastila and Jolie on the Jedi Squad, even without Revan, pretty damn good. Mission Zalbar, pretty damn good. You can use these characters. You know, you would talk about Grand Arena. I mean, having those pieces to throw in, you know, like a Kira Stall team and then a Bastila team you can use on offense. I mean, you know, when we tell people to farm, you know, the pillar system, you get more than just the character you unlock. You also usually get the squads that come with it that you finish farming.
I would definitely say that Knights of Ren would need to finish up his Old Republic first.
That's a priority.
Before he went over to Ewoks or Bounty Hunters.
Yes.
Don't you? I mean,
well, let's look at his Bounty Hunters and see where he's at. So the only thing he really needs to focus in on is Bosk. So he could just do Bosk and be able to finish off Chewie next go around.
Well, it'd be tough, right? It's going to be tough
without... It'll need a little gear, but he's got some time, and I think if he can...
without Dengar, it's going to be tough, right?
It is. You can focus on Dengar. Where's his...
Dengar is in the fleet, the guild shop, right? The regular guild shop.
Yeah. Let's get Dengar going.
So we could do Bosk and Dengar,
right?
And that's it.
And that's going to not interfere with your Old Republic farm.
Yep. And then we do the Old Republic, and then the other one was Ewoks for C-3PO. I think this is back burner, man.
It looks like it.
We're kind of far on this one, and so I think we just back burner.
I mean, you could farm these characters. Some of them are in stores, so you can get those going. Again, will not interfere with your Old Republic farming. Well, some do, though.
Again, right, though. I mean, you know, farming Ewok Elder, he could do that from the guild store, right?
Yeah.
You know, is it Paplu or Logray that's in the guild store? One of them.
I don't remember. I think it's Logray.
It's both of them.
Oh,
Paplu and Logray are both in the guild store.
So if you finish Dengar, then you can start working on the Ewoks afterwards and get them done. I think that's Chirper's one you're going to need to work on eventually.
The other thing too is he unlocks Treya in like 8 raids.
And that could be less than that because this is when we got it. So
to me, we're talking about changing his arena team, right?
Yeah, Scion and Nihilus still need to be farmed.
And they need gear, right? But we could potentially look at some kind of, you know,
Treyas,
Pre-Vader, Treya, Thrawn. We could do
Scion,
Treya.
Nihilus.
Yep, we could do. So we already have Thrawn. Thrawn's freaking awesome, right?
Yep.
Because he's running him in the arena team. So we could potentially run lower star level.
Oh, absolutely.
And run EP, Thrawn, and the Triumvirate, and probably get him from
600.
From 600 to, I don't know.
Easily top 200.
Top
100.
Right?
Even top 100 with that team. I mean, it's a meta team still.
Top 200 would be super nice, right? I mean, if we were The other thing too is we got some pretty dramatic swings in his arena payout time, and so we might want to consider, is this arena payout time really good for him? I mean, we have from the highest to the lowest, we have a 375 plus swing in his arena team, right? So we probably need to find a time during the day that's better for him long term if this time is not great for him. So
Yeah.
that he's consistently, at 300, or he's consistently at 200 instead of having this huge spread on times. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think those are your priorities. The rest of this is kind of immaterial. You've got to get these pillars done. I think having Trey is going to help you tremendously in your arena. So let's just stay on the ball, keep farming Nihilus and Scion until they're done. I mean, and all these characters, your priority, if you're going to go Sith, you need to start gearing these guys to 11 at least. Because this will make a big difference. And then all your best mods need to go on there. Now, when it comes to modding...
I feel like he doesn't need to take characters to 12. He could probably...
No, just 11. Yeah, you don't have to go 12. Yeah.
He could probably just take characters to 11. The more characters he had at gear 11, he would do better, right? Even if it's his arena team for right now. And then once he gets a stable of, 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 characters at 11,
sure,
then he can start talking about, hey, let's take this character to 12, right?
Yeah. First Order looks fine. You maybe work on First Order Stormtrooper and Executioner in the future, but not a priority. I do want to look at some of your other teams. Imperial Trooper, pretty solid, just need gear. Good job on that. Very good. Veers is gear 12 with the Zeta. Just need gear on the other ones. They're starred.
But Death Trooper is only 3-star.
I understand. Focus on the Old Republic, but you do have enough other troopers that you can still make it work. Jedi look pretty solid. He's got Kenobi at 12. I like seeing that. He's got General Kenobi at 12. I'm not seeing Hermit Yoda. If you're not farming Hermit Yoda out of the Guild event store, my friend, you start today. As soon as you hear me say this, start farming Hermit Yoda.
Hermit Yoda is amazing, man.
Did we have Wampa yet or no?
I haven't looked for Wampa yet. I haven't got a chance to see if he has Wampa. If someone can look for that while I'm going through the rest of this.
I'm not seeing Wampa.
Yes, so again, Hermit Yoda. All Hermit Yoda.
I'm guessing he's been spending his guild event currency on
gear
12 gear.
Yeah.
It looks like
stop doing that. You have raids for now and other things that'll bring in you slower, but it'll still bring you gear 12, right? You need to focus on Hermit Yoda until he's done, and then focus on Wampa until he's done. I know it sucks. You see the shinies, and you're like, but I can use this gear. No, you get your monkey butt in there, and you get your Hermit Yoda. Unlock me, you will.
And because potentially Hermit Yoda and Wampa are going to be needed later on.
Oh, yes.
And they are just such good pieces, right? I mean, Wampa makes any team better, and Hermit Yoda makes any team better.
Ooh, Night Sisters. Non-existent.
This is new. I just got a notification from Galaxy of Heroes asking me if I completed my dailies.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah, I completed them at like 5:30 in the morning. That's the first time I've ever gotten that notification, though. That's cool. I like that.
That is cool. CG does some stuff that's like, that's really good. Especially, I give CG credit. They do a lot of work on the quality of life stuff. So you got to give them credit when credit's due. They've been doing these little things here in the last 6-7 months that are like, okay, I see what you're doing. Night Sisters.
Do a 600 reminder.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That's cool. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Night Sisters stars are there. We don't even have Talzin even started, so something to consider. But you've got a lot of stuff on your plate to do. But Night Sister would be next project for like a farm, not gear, a farm. Once you get Old Republic done, right? Still continue to do Bosk. Get Hermit Yoda out of the Guild event store. Once you get your Old Republic squared away, I would go to Night Sisters. Night Sisters are nasty. They are some badass chicks that just kick your ass. And they can be used on defense, and they can be used on offense. And there's different combinations. So that'll be a project. You got a lot of them starred, but there's some that are not even starred or not even starred, like Talzin. Talzin is a must. But it's your priorities, and that Old Republic is a priority first. Let's see here. Night Sisters, we already looked at Sith. We looked at Old Republic. Let's look at how your Rebels are doing in Resistance. Pretty solid on the Rebels. 5-star Chewbacca with the Zeta. No 3PO, but we know why. The Ewoks need some work. But he does have the main components. He doesn't have 3PO, but he does have CLS, Han, R2, Chewbacca. There's some other pieces here that he could work on, but you're getting there. So not too shabby on the Rebels. There's not a lot of Rogue One going on here. Something eventually you're going to have to work on because you do need them for territory battles and stuff like that. And there are some pieces like Turning Bays that are good and else places.
And Cassian's Ewing.
Yeah, his ship is ridiculous.
Love that ship.
Resistance, really good job on the Resistance. So JTR R2 BB-8 Resistance Trooper, our Arco 12 have Zetas, Scav Rays 11, Finn's 10. You may want to work eventually on gear for Poe and Finn. They're a good combination.
And eventually a Zeta on
yeah,
Finn, so
something down the line.
The double Resistance teams and
yep.
TW.
Because you can go right, the team I run is JTR R2 BB-8 and Holdo with like Scav Ray, and then I'll run Finn, Pilot, Poe, Resistance Trooper, and then I'll throw in like Cassian in there just to because of what he does. He adds exposes and adds all that stuff. He's really a great piece. Plus, he gives protection.
Yeah, he's really good for putting expose on characters that have expose on him with the crippling shot.
He's a great piece to add to that. So that's something. But you great job on these guys. For where you're at with your roster, you're on the right path, my friend. You just have to stick with getting the pillars done. Finishing up Chewbacca, so getting your boss done. Getting Hermit Yoda and Wampa out of the Guild of Instor. Finishing up your Old Republic. You don't have to put gear on them, but you can at least get them to 7 stars. Then finishing up some of those teams like Troopers or First Order with gear, and then going back down and maybe start working on your Night Sisters. Because then you'll have all the pillars done. Unless you want to work on Ewoks first, which I totally understand. And I don't have a problem with you doing, so you can get 3PO when he gets done. Then you can go work on Night Sisters. So those are kind of where you need to go with your farms. He wants us to look at
GA teams.
GA teams. So Grand Arena teams, let's talk about 5v5. So you're in a different position than a lot of people. You're very limited on what you can put on there. So, typically the teams we say put on defense, First Order. You do have bounty hunters, so you can use bounty hunters on defense. I'd save your Resistance for your offense, your Rebels for your offense, your Sith for offense. But then you have to figure out what you're going to put on defense. You're not going to have a lot for you to be successful to put on defense. Maybe if you get your First Order a little bit geared, you can use them on defense. You can use your bounty hunters as somewhat of a roadblock, but it's going to be your lesser teams that you put on defense for now. Because if you're going to win, you don't have enough teams to put on defense to where you'll have the offensive firepower to go in and be able to clear somebody. If you run into any kind of tough team and you don't have anything.
You got to remember though too. I mean, his GP is 1.6.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's going to have to put a lot of crud on defense.
It's such fewer teams that he has to put on defense.
Even so, let's say it's 6, Grande. Let's say he puts First Order and bounty hunters. That's still.
Is it 6 or is it less than that? Well, maybe it is 6.
I don't know, 4, 6, but it's still going to be 2 to 4 teams. He's going to have to put that or be cruddy, because if you can't go defense.
I mean, he'd have to do like boss lead, right?
Yeah, boss lead. He could put boss lead with the bounty hunters. Totally fine.
He could probably do boss. He could probably
put First Order. He could do First Order.
I mean, he actually has Kira. I mean, he has a 7.
You could do something with Kira. He
could do like a Kira, Chewbacca team, or even his 3-star Nest would probably work.
Sure.
I mean,
but you still want your CLS and stuff for offense. You still want your Sith for offense.
CLS, JTR.
Yes.
He's going to want to be a stronger offensive guy and kind of a medium. He's going to want to keep Bastilla and his Jedi for offense. He's basically going to want to. He's going to want to. How I see it is, he's going to want to have 4 teams that he's almost guaranteed he can beat anything with those 4 or 5 teams, right? And then whatever's left over, he puts on defense, right? Even if it's not super great, maybe he'll trip them up with some mods, or they won't know the right counters, and so he's got the ability to make sure that he wins everything on the fight day.
All right.
Okay, here comes the pain.
But I think you're in a great spot, my friend. I mean, let's go to your mods, but I mean, you're on the right path for your characters, so stick with it. I think you're doing just fine. And then we'll filter. I don't want to see another 16 mod from you for a while, my friend.
Keep scrolling down.
The days of 16 mods for you are over. Sorry, unless you get stuff you just happen to get from events and stuff, fine. But I want. Oh no! No! I mean,
This almost made me cry, dude.
No,
don't.
We have so many mods that we need to take from 15C to B and A.
Oh yeah, your priority. I want all this. Here's what you're gonna do.
We went in here to GG and we filtered by speed, right? Speed secondary. That's what we did. And any mod in here, like this BB-8 mod, this other BB-8 mod, this CLS mod, this Scion mod, all these great mods, but they're like C's and they're B's and they're kind of lower. We want to jack all these mods up to A for all. And the reason why is because one of these mods, like this 10 speed 15C mod, you're gonna proc it to B and you're gonna proc it to A, and all of a sudden that mod turns into a 20 speed. What happens is, because you now have all these 5A mods, it gives you, instead of going, well, I only have 20 mods I can take to 6E, now you're gonna have 70 mods you can look at, and you get to pick the best out of those 70 rather than just the best out of those 10 or 15 or 20. You've got some excellent mods down here. This mod sitting over here on Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano. This other Scion mod. This mod sitting on Veers. This mod sitting. I mean, you've got some. This mod sitting over here on Kylo Ren. You've got some great mods in here that when you level them from C mods to A mods, potentially one of these mods that you kind of thought was ho hum is going to turn into a freaking awesome mod. Yeah. And you're going to be like, that's the one. No. You're going to know it when you see it. You're going to know it the minute you see it, that this is the mod that should be a 6E mod. Because it's just so labor intensive. And it's so restrictive. When you take a mod to 6E, you can't put it on a character that's not G12.
Nope.
And we're talking about taking your roster and getting more of your characters to G11. Well, if we're talking about more characters to G11, that means we need more mods at 5A instead of 6E.
Yeah, I don't mind the ones on Thrawn because he's a capital ship. Other than that,
I don't either. Yep.
Other than that, the way you're going to do this, my friend, is you're going to start looking at your GG page and you're going to start with this one with BB-8. And you're going to take it to 5A. Then you're going to go back to GG and look at the next one. This is going to be the next BB-8 one. And you're going to take that to 5A. And you're going to move down this sheet here on GG and do every one of these mods that are blue or purple that have all these speed on them, and you're going to slice them up to 5A. And then when you get down to the bottom of the sheet and they're all done, then you can start worrying about 6A.
I mean, don't worry about what the speed. I mean, you've got some of these mods that are B's and C's with over plus 100 offense. This mod on the diamond on Chopper, the diamond on Nest. Some of these mods you've got are super mods that you don't. We just need to work on them a little bit so that way you can get the most out of it that you can.
I mean, this 6E mod on Ray on the bottom, JTR. It's a 6E mod, but it has 6 speed. Now it has a crap ton of. No, it doesn't. So, I mean, that's no more 6E for a while. You need to be slicing all these other mods so you have more of a selection to put on more characters. With better stats than you do with 6E. 6E is no longer a priority for you for a while. You're not even in that range, and you don't have enough Gear 12 to do it. So,
I heard mod talk.
Well, you missed it, Finn. We already talked about it.
Damn it.
It's mod talk. We're doing mod talk.
Yeah, we're gonna drink some coffee, talk about mods, no big whoop. Call the number 555-4444.
RSG for Revan. Okay.
I think that's it. So,
Good.
if Sith, if you Knights of Ren, if you have more questions, get with us and you got your priorities of farms, you got your priorities of what you have to do with mods, you got your plan. Execute the plan. I'm telling you, it'll lead you to success. Overall, really good job. Some things we need to change up, do more of, but overall, you're doing a great job. You stick with the pillars. I like for a younger roster like yours to see all those pillars done. You've done it the right way, and that's how you want to do it. And I have no problem with how you've been farming because you've hit the main targets, and that's the thing that you need to be doing. So now we're going to start finishing up some of that stuff, get some other things, and follow the plan, especially with the mods, of how you're going to start slicing. And I think you're going to be in a good spot, my friend. You're well on your way.
Talk to me, brother. You know we're in the same place.
That's right. And if you would like a roster review, all you need to do is send your GG page to Dr. Finn Medicine Woman. Make sure you put your GG page in there, and make sure he responds because he's a dirty, dirty butthole.
That's right.
That's right. And if he doesn't respond, let me know. Then I'll beat him up for you.
That's right.
And then we'll add you to the queue, and you have to be patient with us. We have a ton of requests for roster reviews. We've been doing two days for a while. We're going to keep doing 2 days for a while until we get caught up to a reasonable goal. Is there any end in sight? We've been doing this for a month.
I think we have about 2 more weeks or so.
That's what you said before. 2 weeks. You're a liar. You're a liar.
He's like
but then people keep requesting.
You're such a liar, Finn.
If we start gaining at a faster rate than we can complete at single, then yes, it happens.
He's like the perpetual, contractor. How long is it gonna take?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What was that?
Be about
The Tom Hanks movie, Money Pit. Yeah. When's the house gonna be done? 2 weeks.
No, we've been getting them.
I know, right? It's crazy. It's crazy.
I know.
We love it.
We do
We
that.
like it. We love it.
Hi, Fitzy.
More of it.
Sorry.
Is she still? Yeah, she. I think she went on.
He's still in the
mute.
chat, so I had to say hi to Fitzy.
We'll say hi to Fitzy.
All right. Question time.
All right, Dr. Finn's back, so he can do the questions. Yay!
I have to get Nightbot.
What? Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't. Hold on. I have to open it now.
What?
I didn't have it open.
No, that's not my problem, Finn.
Shut up in a Battlefront. I thought you were going to do that.
Kids, this is what happens when you're.
Well, no,
slacker.
yeah, no, Finn's not a slacker. Actually, we give Finn a hard time, but he really is. He really is the engine that drives RSG. I'm the madman, but Finn, he does a lot of the stuff in the background. I mean, I do too, but Finn. He's a mad scientist, man. That's all I can say. He keeps me on my toes. I can say that much. He keeps me on my toes. Let me just say that. Like, I'll get all these messages like, Finn, I hate you. All right, let's do it. That's pretty much my response. Like, Finn comes out of the shower, he's like, Ranger, I got some great ideas. No, piss off, I hate you. Okay, let's talk about it. It's the way the conversation goes all the time. Oh, goodness. All right, let's get to some questions. I'll do some.
I do love my showers. Okay.
You do.
Mike is not here. Because David Bond has a question. Mike, why doesn't the ice cream truck drive by your place anymore?
Well, it's wintertime, right?
Hey, you can still get ice cream.
No, it's kind of hard in the wintertime because people are,
It's hard in the summertime, too. It's ice cream.
Not
okay.
really.
Andrew Sweeney, question. Have you seen Arnold's video from yesterday, and what are your thoughts on the leak?
I think it's wrong. I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. It's totally wrong.
I got the gist of it. I mean, is it about like the stuff that was kind of leaked?
Some of
that's not official.
So it's not official. It's a leak that somebody is starting to perpetuate, and usually there's about 10 of these every time there isn't enough content from season coming out, right? So there's always about 10 of them. Usually one of them is typically right, and there's about 9 of them that are wrong. The one that is currently being spread around talks about a Grievous rework. There's also going to be at the end of February a Darth Revan character that's going to require a 7-star Kandor, Fallen Bastila, Juhani Karth, and HK-47, who's going to get a new tag as well as a droid rework. Now, this is, again, all just in that post. This isn't anything confirmed whatsoever. The problem is, I think a 7-star unlock Hero's Journey for Darth Revan is, one, way too soon. It makes no sense to have it.
Well, especially with the
And two, another 7-star character release this soon to the other one is probably going to destroy the player base.
Well, not only that, and the number one thing in this new little rumor mill thing, the devs already debunked it. They said, don't expect a rework of Grievous anytime soon.
Here's the other thing, too, about this whole deal, right? Let me just tell you, that here's the biggest problem is, if I'm a dev, why would I bring out Darth Revan before I bring out Malik? I mean, if I'm trying to milk the KOTOR train all the way, I'm going to bring out a Malik. I'm going to bring out an Ebon Hawk. I'm going to bring out this and that and the other thing. I'm going to bring out a bunch of this stuff. And then next year, in February of 2020, then I'm going to bring out Revan. But I could, if I'm a dev, I could bring out Malik now. Everybody gets super stoked about getting Malik, right? In 6 months, I could bring out the Ebon Hawk. Everybody gets super stoked about the Ebon Hawk. And then in 2020, I bring out Darth Revan, and everybody's super stoked again. Why wouldn't I want to do that as a developer? And it prolongs the anticipation, prolongs people being excited, prolongs the hype, prolongs the longevity of the game, and keeps me employed. That's what I would want to do as a developer. Now, if I can think about that, and I'm some dumb hick from Texas, don't you think smarter people can think of that too?
Well, not to mention, this is also EA we're talking about. Money.
Well, I think the most likely scenario is not Darth Revan, but at the end of Sith month, February, if they are going to do something, I think it's going to be a legendary character from Malik, to where you can unlock him at 5 stars with these new characters.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I mean,
that makes perfect sense. You farm Karth, you farm Juhani, you farm Ordo, you farm Darkseid Bastila, and if you have them all at 5-star, you get a 5-star. Let me tell you what this post doesn't say. This post right here says jack about Sith Assassin, and it says jack about B-28 Sith Bomber. I think both of those have been stealthed under the radar, and we have a new ship coming where you need Sith Assassin and you need Sith Bomber. Because, first of all, we need more ships. We've said it so many times. The other thing, too, is it would be really easy for us to get the Vader's Devastator, or for us to get Nihilus's, what's it called, the Ravager. For us to get either one of those two, and for people to be stoked and feel like they had a happy 6 months for February. We got an extra ship. It still follows the road ahead. It's KOTOR, or it's the original trilogy, and it still follows the guides of what we got from the road ahead post. And we get another Sith capital ship, or we get another OP Sith ship, and we get something that holds wicked good on defense. It would not be out of the realm of possibility to get a Ravager and have Sith synergies. It would not be out of the realm of... We've already now seen a Devastator in game, and everyone's like, yeah, but it doesn't look right, and it looks just like the Executrix. Yes, it does. But let me tell you, the first OG Chewbacca we saw was on the event table, and the abilities were nothing like the OG Chewbacca we got in game as a playable character. It is entirely possible that we end up with Vader as a fleet commander, and we end up with Vader and his Devastator, and it has Sith synergy, and it has Empire synergy, and it has Bounty Hunter synergy, and here's the thing: they always put in the counter meta before they put in the meta. Let me repeat that again. They always introduce the counter meta before they do the meta. And let me tell you, whenever they brought in OG Han Solo's ship, whatever you want to call it, MILF, HS, whatever you want to call that ship, they put that in first. What is that ship really good at doing? That is a climbing ship. Whenever you have a climbing ship, That's counter meta. What we are seeing right now is the counter meta. We have not seen the meta yet. You get a Devastator that has Bounty Hunter, Sith, and Empire synergy, and all of a sudden now you got 8 ships to pick from. And it's super stally, it's super timeouty. You know, think about that. You got Houndstooth with freaking Maul coming in as a reinforcement. That meta would be OP, and the only way to beat it would be, oh, I got OG Millennium Falcon. Okay, I could beat it. I am telling you, this post right here is a bunch of troll clickbait. It's troll clickbait. I don't know what else.
I don't think Devastator is going to be the ship. I do think we're going to get more ships, and I do think we're going to need the 4th Sith. I don't think it's going to be Devastator, though.
It's just a thought, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
And
I took a screenshot of like the first scene, like the very first thing that you see when you go into the Millennium Falcon event is a thing that said this is not going to be available in game, but you can play it here. Like that's pretty much what it says. So I don't think it's going to be the Devastator, but I think there probably will be some kind of ship that does require you to need the 4th Sith. So I have been working on my Sith fighter and my B-28.
I mean, if something was needed first, Sith Assassin's ship and Sith Marauder ship have been farmable way longer, and a bunch of people have put that crap on the back burner, and it would be super easy to gate people real bad by saying you got to have them both at 7-star to get whatever it is at 7-star.
Well, there's also a possibility that they don't do they can do Old Republic characters from the BioWare MMO, because they're supposedly releasing a big content drop next month for that game as well. So
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, there was some other stuff that was leaked as well, right? That you got to be careful about. I believe there was one post that said that the character of the month was Sith Assassin, and a lot of people were starting to run with that. And then a Game Changer came out with a video saying it was L337.
Yeah.
So you got to be cautious with a lot of this rumor stuff. That's why a lot of times, especially on the Wednesday night stream, on the lunch streams, we're a little bit more open about it. But we're a lot more cautious about talking about any kind of these like leaks and rumors and stuff. Data mines maybe a little bit less so, but it does create false expectations for people sometimes. That when this stuff is out there, it's fun to talk about, and it's fun to talk about on like these kind of streams.
Yes.
Where we talk about just fun stuff we'll answer your questions on like the lunch hour, and we'll just kind of chill and talk about whatever is going on. But on like the Wednesday night stream, for example, we're really trying to bring you what's actually going on, what you guys need to do in order to prepare. And we try to avoid like the leaks and all that kind of stuff, because half the time, more than half the time, it's wrong.
Yes.
And people will usually come out afterwards and say, I posted this and everyone believed it, and look at them, they're posting it everywhere. I can't believe my post came all the way back over here. Like, that's happened before. So
yeah, it has happened, because I remember doing one exactly like that, and it took off like a rocket.
Exactly. I mean, people will look for anything in order to try and get an edge. And part of that is because CG has made it so that, especially after like the Revan grind, right? Everyone is looking for that little bit of an edge to get ahead on the next character to farm. And so it's understandable that people jump on these rumors as a way to try and get this next thing early and focusing on it. But a lot of this, you can use common sense and look in the game and try to figure out what exactly you will need and for what.
Everybody thinks that L337 being in is because there's some kind of grievous droid rework. My gosh, is that stretching? Like, so far stretching, it's stupid. Let me tell you what it's more like.
L3 is the character of the month. That means OG Lando's getting a rework.
It's it's such a stretch. Let me tell you what's more likely. What's more likely is that they're finally going to do something with prepared solo scoundrels. And we actually need prepared solo scoundrels for something else. Finally.
Yeah.
This is what.
And keep in mind what month it is, right? It is Sith month.
Yeah.
There is a Sith that when we discussed what potential characters they could use Han Solo for, right? There were 3 characters that always came up: Beckett, Dryden Voss, and Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Right.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. That could very well be the character we are working for now.
Look, they could do a dark side fall, and we have to have our regular Maul, and we have to have solo scoundrels, and now we get Meccano Maul. that could be such the way it is. And they're like, we held off on this for so long. We wanted to make sure that it was released worldwide and that we didn't spoil it for anyone. But now everyone should have seen Solo. And so guess what? Here's Meccano Mall. Boom shakalaka. And all you guys that are talking about Grievous and talking about Darth Revan are going to be wrong. I'm telling you guys, there are so many ways they could slice and dice this that it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, so I mean, and I mentioned this before, the easiest thing to go by is every time there is a faction that suddenly reaches 4 or 5 characters, that's usually a good indication that something will probably be used with them, right? Jawas was critical damage. Now so much there isn't, and we don't know if there's going to be anything with Jawas again, right? But Ewoks had all of a sudden the C-3PO event pop up. We saw the bounty hunter ships get an event. It's for the same reason. A lot of people were just stuck on the fact that the smuggler event was what the Han Solo characters were for. So it could be that the Han Solo characters had a bigger plan. They were just waiting in order to release it. Because if they're releasing Darth Maul, it makes more sense in Sith month. So just build your roster the way that with stuff that you know, right? If you're at the point where you're working on speculation, that's fine. Just do whatever. But be cautious about spreading it. Because there are people that are going to delay, and it's unfortunate. Yep. There are people that are going to delay whatever they're farming because they're afraid the next thing is going to be the next big thing, and then they lose out on other stuff.
Yeah, they're going to neglect their Solo scoundrels. They're going to. I mean, how long have we talked about Kira and Nest, and how long have we been talking about Vandor Chewbacca's being good? We talk about it all the time because they're good for GA, they're good for TW. We talk about it a lot. And again, it's about rounding out your roster. And you're going to have people that are going to go all in and spend a bunch of money on some of these other characters because they think that's the new shiny because someone said or there was a leak and it's going to really push them into a bad spot. So I want you guys to be really careful about. I mean, look, we've said it before. Stay on target. Ranger has missed items in this game because he said he was going to stay on target with what he's on. Please stay on target and don't change what you're farming based on a rumor.
Yeah. Well, more of the story is unless the devs confirm it, you're gambling with what you're doing with your decision. Truly gambling. So you might get screwed.
Yeah,
Actually, there's
right.
a really good chance you'll get screwed. But anyways, next question.
Okay, I don't even remember what that question was about, but there we go.
It was
okay.
about,
no,
I think,
about
honey and bees and flowers and
No,
trees.
that was the one before about the.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Next question from who? Question. Question: Farm Nest or Anakin's ETA Starfighter with my ship's energy?
Nest.
I think it's Nest all the way.
Yeah.
I go Nest. Nathaniel Morgan, question: Thoughts on Villain's journey for Darth Revan needing New Republic or the new Old Republic and HK?
We already answered all
We
that.
already discussed that.
Yep.
We beat that horse to death.
You're gonna need Voltron.
Kilo Mad,
Plus blazing.
Kilo Mad question: For Revan, how many purple mats and Omega do you need? Oh, you know
Ranger.
what?
For
Ranger was doing the
for
math
Revan?
earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
for Revan? Oh, my God. So you're going to need 400 Carbantes. So
No. Purple mats and Omega. So I'm talking about abilities.
Oh, abilities. So
But it's three Zetas. That's 60
the
Omegas.
60
right?
plus 13 on those, 39 Omegas there, plus his other abilities will need Omegas. So you're going to need, my thing was like 60 and 60.
70, 65,
Something like that. So, I
on
mean.
Omegas, and then on purples, you're probably going to need 200 or 300. Probably.
Right, easily. But I've got all that. Yay. Because I'm sitting at right now, what am I sitting at? I think I am, I have to pick someone that I haven't actually,
My purple mats make people upset.
done their stuff. Truly. I've got 111 and 108, so.
They're working the math right there. 54, someone said. 54 and 457, somebody said. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I've hoarded.
Yeah.
I've hoarded the hell out of those.
He said he counted them on GG just now.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, there you go. I only have
Yeah,
I only have 1,100 of those.
I have 2,400 of those purple.
Yeah. Well, I've did some characters.
Way too many purple lines. Okay. Next question is from Nathaniel Morgan. Question: Why is L3 the login droid rework back at Legendary distraction for Sith month? Find out next time on the next Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, basically.
Finn, Finn, what's his power reading on Grande?
Over negative 9,000.
Oh!
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm negative 9,000 because I'm deep, baby. That's all I gotta say.
No, Grande.
He's deep, spelled DERP.
I saw the question too. So why are we thinking Maul for Sith month when he's not a Sith at that point? It's because of his backstory more than anything else.
It's a stretch, right?
It's a
It
stretch.
could be a stretch with Dryden Voss as well, because he
Yeah.
did have a Sith holocron in
I
his
think it's going to be something separate anyways. I think the main thing for Sith month is going to be the ships.
I'm telling you.
I think ships is going to be the main focus of Sith month.
Nihilus having a ship. We have 2 Sith ships that are farmable. I'm telling you guys, it's all of them are Sith ships, guys.
Well, you might end up seeing, of course, the Ravager, and then them dropping one more Sith ship on us, which needs the Sith Trooper.
You could totally see another Sith ship, man.
To be honest, I see that more than anything is them doing ships.
Say that 6 times fast. Okay, next question.
No, don't. Don't.
That.
There you go. Okay. Choco, question. Who can I use with Karth, Mission, and Zalbar? Juhani and Ordo go there. Kira team also not an option. How about Wampa Nest?
Hey, Ranger, you want to change the screen too, by the way? Just thinking out loud.
About what? What do you mean?
What do you mean? Ranger's on his gameplay.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
don't I see it?
You might have paused your video or something.
Oh, okay. I think it was me. Sorry. It was me. It was me being a dork. Okay.
Yeah, so he's asking who can he put with Karth, Mission, and Zalbar.
God damn it. RNG.
I mean, Wampa Nest can work. I would keep Wampa. Maybe Wampa Vader. Karth, Mission, Zalbar, Wampa Vader can...
Well,
Gamorrean Guard, if you have it. People don't like Gamorrean Guard, but I do like Gamorrean Guard.
you can get away with doing Bastila and Jolie because they're considered Old Republic and can work with Karth's lead.
Mm-hmm. You have a few different options there. The focus is either going to be the Old Republic or the Dots focus. So you can pick whichever one and kind of build the team around that. But I think Wampa works better than Nest. I wouldn't put Nest on that team. But Wampa is fine.
Yeah, that's this one.
Ouchie Dumpling, question. With what is possibly coming in February, would it be a good idea to maybe wait on gearing Revens up until we see what's coming in the next week or two in case of Revan counter coming out? No. Go for the sure thing. Any counter to Revan is probably just going to stop Revan, but it's still not going to change the viability of Revan teams anyways. Plus, more important than anything, you just have to make sure you unlock the character, and then you can spend like a week catching up. But your Revens will dominate if you have it ready during that time period.
Yeah, so, even if the new character is a direct counter to Revan, still won't mean that Revan is not good. I mean, Revan will still be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, giving everybody Revan, or giving the majority of the top 100 Revan, now just made it where everybody in the top 100 can climb. They've got to give something that's gated again, and so you're looking for another character potentially that comes after him that's going to, let's say, make Sith OP again, or it's going to make some other faction OP. I mean, we're sitting here talking, and we're like this, that, and the other thing. Look, they said it's original trilogy stuff. They could easily throw us all a curveball and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, here you go, Jedi Luke, baby. We told you it was original trilogy."
Yeah, so I would still put your gear on Revan.
And imagine Jedi Luke with C-3PO, R2-D2, and Chewbacca.
Oh,
right?
Dude, imagine a Luke Skywalker from EU when he was doing his dark side training, a dark side Luke for a while there.
The other Luke Skywalker.
Remember when he learned how to use Force lightning?
Yes. The EU.
He turned to the dark side for a couple
It
issues.
is canon no more. Let us move on.
No. One can
All right.
dream, right?
Next question, Billy Thomas. Should I use all 3 Zetas for Revan now or wait to see what comes next month? I have the rest of the team gear 12 with Zetas, still taking 1 in Arena with Treya every day.
Well, is Fitzy still here? She hasn't said anything. Is she able to answer questions?
I said hi to her earlier and then she laughed.
Well, that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't.
Zoom
mean
chat.
Yeah,
She
that
may have had
doesn't.
to take off.
Okay.
You laugh at it. Okay.
Say the question
I would
again.
still put the Zetas on Revan.
She says she's here.
He's here.
Oh
Here.
yeah, well, join the
Just
conversation.
she's not able to.
to talk.
Oh, okay.
She just laughs at me.
Oh well, yeah.
Every woman.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I'll keep an eye on Zoom chat if you want to chime in on one of these questions and stuff. You know, I can relay it for you.
how about that, eh?
See, there she does. She said yes. Why, yes, I do. She laughs at me. See, this is what happens.
Finn, you bring it on
But yeah,
yourself.
I would put the Zetas on Revan. It gives you another viable team. That team becomes viable in Grand Arena, becomes viable in Territory Wars, especially if you put the Zetas on the other characters like Jolie. Yes, finish off Revan. Why bother waiting for something that may or may not come when you have a dominant team right on your roster right now?
Yeah, they give us Jedi Revan, and then they give us Jedi Luke to put on our Revan teams.
Yeah.
And the people with Jedi Luke get to go, oh, thanks. Here's the top 10 again.
Paul Bracamonte is not wrong. After looking at Revan, the kit of Luke is probably going to take like 2 years just to read.
It'll be a dissertation. There'll be an end-game button where you get to click the PDF and go.
Yeah, it'll give you a PDF link.
I know,
That's
it'll
exactly
be-
what I'm thinking. They did that with the probability things.
Yes.
The abilities now. To read the full ability of Jedi Luke, click here.
I think it's like some kind of
That
lawyer.
reminds me of, I think it was Chaos Confetti in Magic the Gathering. The description of all the abilities of that card, they had to shrink the text so small you had to use a magnifying glass to read it.
Yes, but that was intentional because that wasn't unglued.
But I mean, like,
It's not a legit set. Like, unglued is the most ridiculous thing because one of them is, I can't remember which card it was, but basically,
Minotaur.
I mean, some of these you have to do like actual actions out of game. Like, you have to put your hand on your head or you lost life and stuff. Like, unglued was a ridiculous set by design. That was
If
the
your
point.
opponent is wearing jeans, this monster cannot be blocked.
I do love the unglued set though. Unglued was awesome. Okay, next question from Hellenix. My FNBS is 37 out of 85. My Ordo is at 70 out of 85. Am I on good farming pace for these two? Assuming CG will require them at the end of Sith Tune, February Sith Tune, a need for Jumanji and Onassis soon.
Yeah, I think you are.
Look, I'm kind of surprised they were not dropped as farmable today. If they're not, I'm thinking, hold your energy. Again, guys, hold your Wednesday energy until after 6 p.m. PST, because if you hold it, then you'll have it for whenever Juhani and
If you can, don't bail out on your guild 600.
yeah. Don't bail out on 600, but don't blow it all at midnight the day before.
Yeah.
I love to
Okay.
blow it out on midnight the day before.
Next question, Travis Anderson. Since L3 is next month, wouldn't that mean it'll be for something for March rather than February? No, it's typically right at the end of the month that this stuff is used for.
Mr.
Like the last
Anderson might be right though.
Yeah, it'll transfer over into March probably, but usually it starts at the end of the month. I think every event has started on like the last day of the month or like the last week, hasn't it? It's required that.
Something
So
like that.
Yeah.
it'll carry over into March for sure.
Yep. Both show.
Yes.
Gav P question: how can I ask for a roster review? You just PM me in Discord. I think you PM me. I'll message you after the stream. But yeah, that's pretty much all you got to do. Let's see. Doja-san just asked why. I don't know what that's in reference to.
Don't ask
Because
why. Cry.
I'm
Why
gonna
ask
say
why?
Z.
Try Canada Dry.
I'll say Z. Mark Garnett question: what do you think about the supposed leak? Yeah, we already talked about that. Revenator question: why is Ranger saying nice things about Finn? I have no idea. It's kind of scary.
Well, Ranger is under the influence of cold medication.
Yeah,
so-
there we go. That's what it is.
I like drugs.
Toja-san, question: what is your favorite Grande Patron quote? Mine is never underestimate the power of a basic.
I'm telling you guys, sometimes you should
Mine
just do
is by far the most famous one. Of UV. UV.
Yep. That was perfect.
Man, that's tough. Grande has done a whole bunch of really, really big doozies there. So
I try to get at least one in per stream.
John.
Mine is still more work for more rewards.
I'd have to say my favorite is Grande Story Time.
Don Carlo, question: I'm taking my Jedi team to Gear 12 for Arena and will unlock Revan, but the Gear Crunch means I can either give the Mark 8 Loner Power Cell to either GK or Jolie. Which should I do first?
Jolie.
I would say GK.
I'd say GK because
You can use Hermit Yoda instead of Jolie. It's hard. You
That's
can try and use
true.
Old Ben instead of GK, but it doesn't work quite as well. So I would say GK first, especially if you have Hermit Yoda, and then you can work on Jolie. Tangent Revolution question: I agree with you that most of the leak seems BS, but L337 is confirmed as a login for February. A droid rework is possible. Yeah, we said that, but there was also a quote-unquote leak that said that Sith Assassin was going to be the character of the month too. That was floating around.
Nice.
Before L337 was confirmed in a Game Changer video, so yeah.
also just because a character is the character of the month does not mean a rework. It might mean more characters, or it might be just a hint to work on your solo characters. So a lot can be read into that.
There's also the other thing, which we haven't talked about in a long time, and I don't even know if most people even remember this, but I think it would be really, really cool if February, being Breast Cancer Awareness Month also, would be the return of that female-only event that they had, 2 years ago now?
Oh, yeah.
They had it one time where it's just all female characters, and we figured out that Resistance Pilot was female, I think. And it was all these weird things, and you were only able to use female characters. It would be cool if L337 was actually the indication for that.
Or maybe L337 does mean new droid, i.e. legendary BB-9E, Dark Side droid.
Ooh, Meccano Mall could be a Han Solo and a droid character.
Oh.
Yeah, he could.
There you go. See? I don't know. Lots of options. Let's see. Next question is from Pearl Bacamante. Question: did you guys see the Disney Marathon medals? Are you guys hyped? I did. I have seen the Marathon medals for this year, and they're really cool looking.
That's right.
They are very cool looking. I have to get back to running this weekend because I've been too busy in the beginning of this week, so I haven't had a time to go to the gym like I was planning. So this weekend is going to be a lot of extra running. Nathaniel Morgan question. Okay, I answered that one earlier. Tangent Revolution question. So what you're saying is the rumors are wrong and everyone should farm Jawa. Got it. Thanks.
Okay, that's not what we
not
said.
what I said, but
no?
okay.
You have fun
Actually,
with
the next territory war, not this one, but the next territory war does include the return of Jawa, the bonuses. Guns, Derek's, Finn, can you say you love the Dark Lord? Yeah, I like the people from the Dark Lords. You guys are a fun group. Just Grande keeps on giving us the roster reviews and then bailing before the roster reviews happen.
Yeah.
He was here today, which was nice.
I know.
Well, he wasn't here for the Dark Lord's roster review. He was here for Fitzy's roster review.
No, he's here for both.
No, it wouldn't have mattered who the other roster review was. Was here for
I see. Okay, yes.
Yeah. Doja-san question: why aren't people mentioning that Jedi Revan owns Phase 2 in the Sith raid? Gear Revan for that, even if there's a counter for Arena.
Well, he
Because I
owns a
think
lot of things, you know?
Most people, I don't think, care. I'll be honest. Most people, once the raid is on farm, there's only you lose a significant percentage of the player base that really cares about trying to get top damage.
Yeah.
Most people will be pushing with their guild in order to beat the raid, and once the raid is on farm, it's I don't really particularly care.
Yay! I got a 0.
I mean, once you get Trey at a 7-star and all this stuff, it really does feel like you're spending time.
It's just gear. It's just gear.
Sith
and
rate is
rewards.
a slog because you really do need to do an attack on like every single phase, and each attack takes a couple minutes, if not more.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
actually execute and stuff, and a lot of people just don't have the time. So once it's on farm, it's like, okay, it's done.
Yeah.
Well, that and like with my guild, by the time I get done with my one attack, it's already in phase 3.
Yeah, we're clearing. We're clearing it pretty fast now. Like, I mean, if you don't get in there and get a sniff, you'll miss. You know.
Yeah.
I always get a sniff.
Oh God. Travis Anderson question: what day did the Sith event start last February? I can't remember.
It was. They didn't have an event. It was the announcement of Treya and the Sith raid, I believe. Right?
Yeah, it was the big Sith.
Well, we got Scion and Nihilus too, didn't we?
No, Nihilus had already been.
No,
out.
Nihilus was a
the year
tournament.
before.
Yeah.
Nihilus,
Yeah.
No,
So
Nihilus
I think it
not
was
a tournament. Nihilus was a marquee.
Marquee.
Oh, Nihilus. Okay. I thought he was a tournament too, wasn't he?
No, sir.
No.
Okay.
Nihilus and Scion were both marquees, if I remember.
Scion, I remember, was a marquee for sure.
Yeah, Nihilus was.
Nihilus,
Sith.
I know, had a marquee, but for some reason I thought he was a tournament.
Oh, sir.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, I don't remember when exactly the event started. They popped random stuff during the month, though.
Sure.
The Taco King question for Ranger: where does your name come from? Were you a Ranger in the Army?
Yes, I was a Ranger in the Army. I am also graduated Ranger School in 699. I mean, I'm not going to go through my whole military history, but yes. Airborne Ranger, where have you been? Kicking the crap out of Finnegan. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Ranger, it truly is a certified badass.
Yes. I have my card and I wear it proudly on my face. Wait, what? No.
Darth Hideous question: what happened to all Rangers Crystal Horde?
It's called Gearing for Revan. I used some just to make certain pieces were there, so I went from like 11,000 to 8,000. But I'm going to start hoarding again because I pretty much got everything I need.
I have 52 crystals, just if anybody cares.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to go back. I'm going to go back to hoarding crystals again here. I just wanted to make sure that I had, so when I unlock the Revan event for you guys, that we can just take them to Gear 12 plus. So I've made sure that I had the pieces. Some, some are more rare, so that's what I've been spending on. But like, in the stores, it's been Corbontes, stun guns, droid collars. But like some of the other ones, like the Mircon 7 whatever and the other one, they pop up less, so I spent some of the crystals for those. So a little pricey, but you know what, it's worth it.
All right, next question from Billy Gunn. Oh, how valid is the Darth Revan rumor? We ranted about that earlier. Malik makes more sense, we agree. Virga Grande Chingon question: have you seen the meme with young Lando and WD-40 quote works every time? I have not.
No,
I have. Those Lando memes have been around for a while.
I don't think I've seen that one. I know there's a bunch of them. I haven't seen that one.
It's a alternate version of the Colt 45 memes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and it's just as disgusting as I thought it was going to be. Okay. Let me see if there's any other questions that may have been the last one. That's the last question.
Nice.
All right, so this is where we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining us. At what time are you doing your PC gaming night? It's at usually 8 p.m. Eastern, right?
Correct.
All right, so at 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do Battlefront. Maybe me, Force Master, maybe Decepticons doing some more Battlefront for you guys. Just hanging out, playing the game. Played it for about 2.5 hours, which will lead us into the PC gaming night with Finn. And is there a specific game you guys picked for tonight?
Diablo 3.
Ooh, more Diablo. Very nice. So check that out. So we got 2 more streams for you guys today, so enjoy. And then tomorrow we'll have another lunch stream. We'll have our regular Wednesday night, live stream, the longest running one in the community. Thursday will be Tactical Monsters with another lunch stream. Friday will be another lunch stream with Battlefront. Saturday will be the Jedi Academy. And then Sunday there will be no D&D this week because it's Super Bowl. I mean, can't do a D&D stream while the Super Bowl's happening. Sorry.
Even though I wish you could.
I know. Well, sorry, Graham. The rest of us want to see the
I
game.
won't be I won't be watching this.
You know what the saddest part is, though? I'll tell you right now, it's really sad. The Super Bowl was in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and no one at the Super Bowl is going to be able to get Chick-fil-A.
Why?
They put a Chick-fil-A in the stadium, and Chick-fil-A is always closed on Sundays. It's very sad.
Oh, I bet your ass it's going to be open that day.
They haven't opened it in any of the other Falcons games this year. They
This
put it
is
in the
not-
stadium, and it has not been open for Falcon games.
Well, then they're ridiculous because
They have stuck with their principles, which I admire them for.
I
but
admire
damn-
them too. But I mean,
Well, to be fair, at least in the stadium, it's not going to be any more crowded than any other game. I mean, they're still filling it
no,
up.
but
probably.
the people will be paying out the wazoo for stuff in that game. So
No, they always pay. As soon as you go to the stadium, you're overpriced. You're going to get like a $10 Chick-fil-A sandwich.
sure.
Which I don't necessarily mind, but 'cause I do love Chick-fil-A.
But yeah, make sure you guys stop what you're doing. Give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our Patreon. And Finn, how are we looking on the ACS stuff? We are doing our big stream on the 16th of February, correct?
Correct. 16th of February. Be on the lookout for details and the event being popped up and getting some more information out there for you guys.
All right. All right. So, on behalf of myself, the crew, thank you guys for stopping in today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. See you guys in the next couple streams, and we will holler at you later. Peace out.